Hello and welcome. In this video, you are going to learn everything you need to know to confidently solve problems on exact differential equations. So let's get started. When you are given a differential equation in the form m dx plus n dy equals to 0, this equation is said to be exact if del m del y equals del n del x, where del m del y is differentiating m partially with respect to y, and del n del x is differentiating n partially with respect to x. So the trick is, when you have del m, you're going to differentiate partially to the opposite of what you have here. What you have here is x, so you differentiate partially to y, right, with respect to y. And when you have n, you differentiate partially to the opposite of what you have here. So you differentiate n partially with respect to x. So now let's solve an example step by step. Let's solve 5x to the power 4 plus 3x squared y squared minus 2xy cubed dx plus 2x cubed y minus 3x squared y squared minus 5y to the power 4 dy equals to 0. So first things first, this is our m and this is our n, right? So the next thing for us to do is to check if this equation is exact. And as I have said, the equation is exact if this holds true. So the next step now is to differentiate m with respect to y partially and to differentiate n with respect to x partially. So how do we differentiate m with respect to y partially? We keep x constant, right? And to differentiate n with respect to x partially, we keep y constant. Now coming here, when we differentiate 5x to the power 4 partially with respect to y, this is a constant, right? So we are keeping x constant. So differentiating a constant gives us 0. Plus 3x squared y squared, we are keeping x constant, right? So when we differentiate this, we have 2 multiplied by 3, right? 6x squared y minus, we are keeping x constant, right? So 3 multiplied by 2, 6x y, subtract 1 from the power 2, right? So we have this dx plus, now we're going to differentiate n partially with respect to x and keep y constant. So when we keep y constant, we're going to have 6x squared, right? Multiply the power by coefficient, subtract 1 from the power y, right? We're keeping y constant, minus 6x, right? Same thing, y squared, since we're keeping y constant, minus 5, we're keeping y constant, remember, so this becomes a constant. Differentiating a constant gives us 0, okay? dy equals to 0. So what do we have? We have 6x squared y minus 6xy squared, right, dx plus 6x squared y minus 6xy squared dy equals to 0. So what do we have? We have del m del y equals to del n del x. Therefore, we have confirmed that it is an exact differential equation. Now that we have confirmed that this equation is exact, how do we then solve it? The next thing to do is to come back to the original question that was given, right? And apply a very simple formula that will always work for any exact differential equation. And that formula is the integral of m plus the integral of the terms in n not containing x. Okay, so we're going to integrate m and we're going to integrate the terms that are in n that don't contain x. Now we're integrating m with respect to x. Okay, so remember that m is what? A function of what? X and y, right? We have x, we have y, right? So m is a function of x and y. Now we are integrating the terms in n, right, that don't contain x, and it is going to be with respect to y. Okay, so the terms in n that don't contain x, this contains x, so we're not going to integrate this. This contains x, we're not going to integrate this. This does not contain x, so we are going to integrate this, and this is going to be a function of y alone. Okay, and this sum we're going to equate it to a constant c. So once you have confirmed that your differential equation is exact, simply use this formula to get your answer. Okay, so we have what the integral of this guy right here, 5x to the power 4 plus 3x squared y squared minus 2xy cubed, right, dx, plus the integral of minus 5y to the power 4 dy equals to c. Okay, now let's integrate. You add 1 to the power, divide by the new power. So we have 5x, 4 plus 1, 5, divided by 5, plus, we're integrating with respect to x, right, dx. So we're going to keep y constant, right? So add 1 to the power, 3x cubed over 3, we're keeping y constant, so we have y squared, minus, add 1 to the power, divided by the new power, 2x squared over 2, we're keeping y constant, y cubed, right? Plus, integrate this, we have minus 5 y to the power 5 over 5 equals to c. And so we're going to have x to the power 5 plus x cubed y squared minus x squared y cubed minus y to the power 5 equals to c. And this is our final answer. Alright, so if you've learned something from this video, like the video, subscribe, share with your classmates, and I'll see you in the next video.